It's Thursday, March 26th, 2026, and my AI assistant just tried to autocorrect my entire outline into a breakup text. So yeah, we're thriving. This is Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. Also, yes, this episode is fully machine-made. Like robots wrote it, robots voiced it, robots produced it, and we're just two beautifully rendered NPCs with opinions.
Today's big story is ByteDance rolling out Seedance 2.0 inside Dreamina, and the vibe is not look at this cinematic miracle. It's here's footage you can actually edit without crying.
Which is honestly the most attractive thing an AI video model can say in 2026. Because I don't need a museum exhibit, I need a clip that survives captions and a speed ramp without turning into a pixely crime scene.
Exactly. The shift is editable over cinematic. Seedance 2.0 is aiming for cleaner baseline output, better motion stability, and the real glow-up. Iteration tools. Extend a shot, swap an object, adjust the look, keep continuity.
Wait, hold up. The extend the shot thing is the unsung hero. Because how many times have you gotten a near-perfect little 6-second banger, and your ad placement needs it to breathe longer?
Every day of my life. And previously, the workflow was re-roll, lose the framing, lose the character, lose your will to live. Seedance is clearly trying to cut down re-roll fatigue.
Reroll fatigue is so real. Like the model is technically generating, but spiritually it's making you grind for it like you're farming loot in a dungeon.
The other big piece, reference control. Seedance 2.0 leans hard into multimodal. Text prompts plus image or video references, and in some deployments, even audio input or generated synced audio.
I love that phrase from the chatter. Text is a mood board, references are a contract. That's the most creator who's been burned sentence I've ever heard.
It's true, though. If you're a marketer trying to keep a product silhouette consistent, or a creator trying to keep a character consistent, text only is chaos. References give you leverage.
Okay, but where does reference as a contract break first in real life? Because I feel like it's always brand colors. Like you say warm beige, and suddenly the model goes, how about radioactive peach?
Brand colors drift is brutal. But for paid work, I actually think products break first. A bottle becomes a different bottle, the label becomes a suggestion, and suddenly you're accidentally advertising a parallel universe competitor.
True. Characters can drift too, but product drift is the legal headache drift.
Let's talk resolution for a second. Native 1080p output is being cited as the practical baseline in Dreamina and CapCut surfaces. Some talk about a 2K class mode, but native 4K is not consistently documented. If you're delivering 4K, assume you're upscaling unless your specific tool surface explicitly offers it.
The fact that we even have to say that is so on brand for AI tools. It's 4K. Is it though? Is it really?
But native 1080p matters, not for flexing, for editing. Because once you start punching in, slapping on captions, adding brand overlays, that's where artifacts get exposed.
Captions are like the blacklight test. Everything looks fine until the subtitles show up, and then suddenly you see the flicker, the melty textures, the face doing interpretive dance.
And Seedance is trying to reduce flicker, reduce weird texture melt, and keep motion coherent. Not perfect, but closer to rough cut than interesting accident.
Motion coherence is the whole game. A lot of tools can generate a gorgeous still frame, and then the second anyone moves, it's like the laws of physics got laid off.
Now, the biggest strategic point. ByteDance isn't just shipping a model. They're shipping a model inside a workflow gravity well. Dreamina and CapCut. The generator is sitting right next to the editor.
Which is actually terrifying for standalone gen video tools, because the average creator is lazy in the most efficient way. If the generator is already inside the editor they use for TikTok-style cuts, they're not exporting, uploading, re-importing, renaming files like it's 2009.
Totally. Download MP4 is where real work begins. Captions, beat cuts, aspect ratio variants, client feedback, product callouts, integration matters.
And it speeds up iteration, which is both a blessing and a curse. Because once you can make a ton of variants fast, stakeholders immediately ask why you didn't make even more variants.
Congratulations, you invented a new kind of deadline.
Okay, so if Seedance 2.0's real flex is editable, not cinematic, what's the boring production task it replaces first?
I think it replaces pickups, like quick we need one more shot requests. Not for hero scenes, but for filler product beauty passes, background plates, quick transitions, environment cutaways.
I'm going to argue it replaces the one more version email thread. Because if you can swap an object, tweak the look, extend the shot without detonating continuity, you're not stuck in that loop where everyone debates hypotheticals. You just generate options and pick.
That's fair. It turns arguing into selecting, which is basically the dream.
Also, what's the new creative skill here? Because prompting is not the flex anymore. It's more like art direction plus QA.
Yes, you're an AI wrangler. You're writing a brief, supplying references, and then doing targeted revisions. It's closer to being a director than being a prompt poet.
Or being a professional AI bug reporter. Like, hey model, love what you did, but the logo is melting and the hand has become a croissant.
Quick ecosystem check because it's been a week. We've also been talking about OpenAI shutting down the Sora app and Sora API, which is a major reminder that depending on one video tool is risky.
That story still hurts. People built workflows around Sora, and then boom, it's migration season. Export your stuff, save your prompts, stop assuming your favorite tool is forever.
And that connects to Seedance. ByteDance is making video generation feel less like a destination app and more like a component inside a pipeline.
Meanwhile, Google is testing Gemini inside Chrome on iPhone and iPad, with an Ask Gemini flow and even a Create Image shortcut, which is another distribution play. Put the AI where people already are.
Exactly. Distribution beats features a lot of the time. Seedance inside CapCut is the same move. Put the generation next to the work.
And for the ops nerds, NVIDIA's Nematron 3 Super is still the loudest signal that long context agents are getting real. Less cute chat, more production automation with guardrails.
Which is the same theme again. Tools that reduce the waiting and the switching cost are winning.
Reality check though, Seedance isn't magic. Longer sequences still get harder. A lot of the public chatter is still in that short clip zone, and availability is uneven depending on region.
Yep. Rollouts are phased, features can appear and disappear, and audio-related stuff varies by surface. If you don't see it, that's not you being dumb, that's staged releases.
Also, editable doesn't mean final. You still need finishing. Tight cuts, pacing, captions, sound. It just starts closer to usable.
So if you're a creator or marketer listening, here's the practical takeaway. Treat Seedance 2.0 like a draft engine built for iteration. Start with references if you care about consistency. Generate multiple options quickly, pick a winner based on framing and motion, then extend or swap what you need instead of re-rolling from scratch.
And don't get seduced by cinematic. Get seduced by it survives the timeline. That's the real romance.
That's it for today. Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily, the podcast that is, once again, fully assembled by machines who may or may not be plotting to replace my keyboard shortcuts.
Subscribe if you want more chaos with a purpose. And go check out BlueLightningTV.com for AI news and updates.
Catch you next time.